In the dappled light of temperate and tropical forests, a small yet striking insect navigates the understory with a deliberate grace. The net-winged beetle, a member of the Lyciidae family, is immediately recognizable by its vibrant red-orange elytra adorned with a delicate network of dark veins. Though modest in size, often measuring just over 1 centimeter in length, it projects a presence far larger than its physical dimensions suggest. Its coloration is not mere ornamentation, it is a sophisticated warning system, a signal to predators of chemical defenses honed over millions of years of evolution. The evolutionary history of the net-winged beetle is deeply entwined with forested habitats, where selective pressures favored individuals capable of deterring predation while efficiently exploiting the resources of the canopy and understory. Their lineage demonstrates a balance between visibility and survival. Bright coloration communicates danger, yet must be paired with behaviors and chemical defenses that make such signaling credible. Through the slow passage of millennia, these beetles evolved both the intricate venation of their wings and the potent secondary compounds that reinforce their warning colors. Anatomically, the beetle is a marvel of miniaturized engineering. Its elytra, or hardened forewings, protect the delicate hindwings beneath, allowing short bursts of flight to escape threats or explore new territory. The head bears compound eyes optimized for detecting movement and color contrast, while antennae equipped with sensory receptors allow the beetle to navigate complex leaf surfaces and detect chemical cues in its environment. Mouthparts are adapted primarily for feeding on soft plant tissues, fungal spores, or occasionally smaller insects, reflecting a flexible omnivorous diet. Behaviorally, net-winged beetles are mostly nocturnal, seeking shelter beneath leaves during the day to avoid predation. When active, they exhibit a slow, deliberate gait, pausing frequently to assess environmental cues. This measured movement is complemented by chemical defense mechanisms. Many species secrete toxins that make them unpalatable to birds and small mammals. Predators quickly learn to associate the striking red and black patterning with an unpleasant experience, reinforcing the beetle's survival strategy across generations. Habitat selection is closely tied to forest structure and plant diversity. Net-winged beetles are most commonly found in shaded, humid environments rich in decaying organic matter and fungal growth. Fallen logs, moss-covered rocks, and dense understory vegetation provide both food and protection. Geographic distribution spans temperate regions of North America and Europe, with certain species extending into tropical Asia, indicating adaptability to varying climates while maintaining strict ecological requirements for moisture and cover. Dietary habits are diverse yet selective. While primarily fungivorous, consuming spores and mycelium, these beetles also feed opportunistically on nectar, pollen, and occasionally smaller arthropods. This varied diet ensures that even in times of scarcity, individuals can survive, contributing to the stability of local populations. Their feeding also facilitates nutrient cycling within forest ecosystems, promoting decomposition and supporting the growth of fungi critical to tree health. Social interactions are limited but significant. Net-winged beetles often congregate in small aggregations on host plants or around fungal growths. These gatherings, while not true colonies, create localized signals of chemical defense reinforcement. The presence of multiple brightly colored individuals amplifies the deterrent effect on potential predators. Mating behaviors are subtle, relying on pheromonal communication to locate partners within dense foliage. Females deposit eggs in concealed, moist substrates, ensuring that larvae hatch in environments conducive to growth and survival. Threats to the species primarily arise from habitat loss, pesticide use, and climate change. Logging, urbanization, and fragmentation of forests reduce available microhabitats, while chemical pollutants can disrupt both the beetle's physiology and its food sources. Despite their warning coloration, juveniles remain vulnerable to predation until chemical defenses are fully developed, making early life survival a delicate balance of timing and environmental conditions. The ecological role of net-winged beetles is both direct and subtle. As consumers of fungal material and small arthropods, they participate actively in nutrient cycling, decomposition, and the regulation of invertebrate communities. Their presence indicates a healthy, biodiverse forest ecosystem, making them valuable indicators for ecological monitoring. Furthermore, their interactions with predators, both through chemical deterrence and aposematic signaling, create ripple effects that influence the behavior of birds, amphibians, and other insectivores. As dusk settles over the forest, the net-winged beetle emerges from its daytime refuges beneath leaves and decaying bark. Its slow, deliberate movements mask a series of finely tuned survival mechanisms, honed by evolution over millions of years. Unlike predatory insects that chase or trap their prey, the net-winged beetle relies heavily on chemical defense combined with conspicuous coloration. Its red and black patterning signals toxicity, warning potential predators that attempting a meal may result in an unpleasant, sometimes dangerous, experience. This aposematic coloration functions as both a deterrent and a survival insurance, allowing the beetle to forage with measured confidence. Chemical defenses are central to the beetle's survival strategy. Specialized glands along the abdomen secrete compounds that are noxious to birds, small mammals, and amphibians. The potency varies among species but is always sufficient to reinforce the visual warning. When a predator ignores the bright warning colors and attempts a strike, the chemicals can induce vomiting, irritation, or bitter taste, creating a learned avoidance that benefits future generations. Larvae often possess similar chemical defenses, although their efficacy develops progressively, making early life stages particularly vulnerable. The beetle's feeding behavior is opportunistic yet precise. Adults graze primarily on fungal spores, nectar, and occasionally small soft-bodied insects. By consuming fungi, the beetle contributes to forest nutrient cycles, accelerating decomposition and supporting the growth of symbiotic organisms. The careful selection of food sources also minimizes competition, allowing multiple individuals to occupy overlapping territories without direct conflict. In this way, feeding is both an ecological service and a survival tactic. Reproduction is intricately tied to the beetle's life cycle and seasonal rhythms. Mating occurs primarily during warm, humid periods when both adults and larvae have sufficient energy to participate in reproductive activity. Males locate females through pheromonal cues, often following a chemical trail across leaves and branches. Courtship is subtle, lacking elaborate displays. Instead, it relies on precision timing and the proximity of the right partners. Fertilized females then seek concealed, moist locations to deposit eggs, usually in decaying plant material or under leaf litter. This ensures immediate access to fungal resources upon hatching and protects vulnerable larvae from desiccation and predation. Larval stages are a study in patience and gradual growth. Soft-bodied and blind in early development, larvae rely on their chemical defenses and cryptic coloration to avoid predation. Their diet is mainly fungal hyphae, supplemented occasionally with small detritus or microinvertebrates. Development is relatively slow, extending over weeks or months depending on temperature and food availability. During this period, the larvae molt multiple times, each stage bringing incremental improvements in mobility, sensory capability, and chemical production. Metamorphosis marks a dramatic transformation. From a cryptic, ground-dwelling larva emerges a fully formed adult, resplendent in warning colors and equipped with hardened elytra. The structural adaptations of wings, antennae, and legs allow exploration of the vertical forest strata, opening new feeding and mating opportunities. Adult beetles now occupy both understory and mid-canopy levels, taking advantage of sunlight, airflow, and floral resources inaccessible to their larval form. This vertical expansion reduces intraspecific competition and facilitates dispersal across broader areas. Social interactions are subtle yet significant. Aggregations often occur in regions rich in fungal growth or moisture. These small clusters amplify aposematic signaling, as a group of brightly colored beetles presents a more formidable warning to potential predators than a single individual. While not cooperative in the traditional sense, such aggregations create a communal defense effect. Territoriality is minimal, but overlapping foraging paths can lead to minor conflicts or displacements, maintaining a balance that supports population density without depleting resources. Predation pressures and environmental threats remain constant considerations. Birds, amphibians, spiders, and larger insects may attempt to prey upon net-winged beetles despite their warning colors. Each encounter reinforces evolutionary pressures, ensuring that chemical defenses, coloration, and cautious behavior are continually refined. Human activities, including logging, pesticide use, and habitat fragmentation, compound these natural pressures, making the beetle's adaptive strategies more critical than ever for survival. In forests where net-winged beetles flourish, their presence is more than ornamental. They regulate fungal populations, influence microinvertebrate dynamics, and provide a visible example of aposematism's effectiveness. Scientists and naturalists often rely on the beetle as an indicator species, its abundance reflecting forest health, moisture levels, and ecosystem complexity. Studying these beetles offers insight into predator-prey dynamics, chemical ecology, and evolutionary signaling, a window into the delicate orchestration of life in temperate and tropical forests. By the end of a nocturnal cycle, the net-winged beetle has navigated the forest understory, harvested sustenance, avoided predation, and reinforced its chemical defenses, all without haste or apparent urgency. Its survival is not a product of sheer force, but of refinement, chemical sophistication, behavioral patience, and strategic utilization of habitat. Each movement, each decision, is the culmination of evolutionary pressures, the legacy of millennia of adaptation. In the intricate web of forest ecosystems, the net-winged beetle occupies a role that is small in scale but significant in effect. Its consumption of fungi and small invertebrates contributes directly to nutrient cycling, facilitating decomposition and enriching soil quality. By selectively feeding on certain fungal species, it influences the balance of microbial communities, indirectly supporting plant growth and the broader health of the forest canopy and understory. In this way, the beetle acts as a subtle but essential engineer of forest ecology, ensuring that energy flows efficiently through trophic layers. The beetle's bright aposematic colors have consequences beyond mere self-preservation. Predators that learn to associate red and black patterning with toxicity adjust their hunting patterns, avoiding beetles and potentially modifying their impact on other prey species. This creates a cascading behavioral effect, where the presence of net-winged beetles shapes the movement, foraging, and survival of multiple species within the same habitat. In essence, these beetles indirectly structure community dynamics, demonstrating that even small organisms can exert a disproportionately large ecological influence. Human activity introduces additional layers of complexity. Logging, deforestation, and the application of pesticides alter microhabitats crucial for survival. The removal of leaf litter, decaying wood, and understory vegetation reduces food availability in breeding sites, while chemical exposure can compromise the beetles' chemical defenses, making them more vulnerable to predation. Even moderate habitat fragmentation can isolate populations, reducing genetic diversity and long-term resilience. The spread of net-winged beetles to non-native areas, though uncommon, highlights their potential as invasive species under certain conditions. When introduced into forests lacking natural predators familiar with the chemical defenses, beetles may outcompete local invertebrates or alter microbial and fungal communities. While large-scale invasions are rare, their adaptability to humid, forested microhabitats means that human-mediated dispersal, via plant material, timber, or horticultural trade, requires careful monitoring to prevent unintended ecological consequences. From a conservation perspective, the net-winged beetle serves as an indicator species for forest health. Researchers monitor population density, distribution, and reproductive success to gauge ecosystem integrity. High beetle abundance correlates with intact leaf litter layers, healthy fungal diversity, and minimal pesticide impact, while declining populations signal potential environmental stress. Conservation strategies focus on habitat preservation, reduced chemical use, and maintaining the structural complexity of forest industries, measures that benefit a wide array of coexisting species. Interactions with other species, both competitive and mutualistic, further define the beetle's ecological niche. While adult beetles face limited direct competition due to their chemical defenses, larvae share resources with other detritivores and fungivores. Their selective feeding can promote fungal diversity by preventing any single species from dominating the microhabitat. Meanwhile, predators that tolerate or resist their chemical compounds gain a valuable protein source, illustrating the beetle's integration into multiple trophic levels. Climatic factors also shape the beetle's life cycle and ecological impact. Temperature and humidity dictate activity periods, developmental rates, and reproductive timing. Wet seasons promote fungal growth and increase larval survival, whereas droughts can dramatically reduce food availability and hinder reproduction. The beetle's ability to survive across variable microclimates demonstrates both resilience and sensitivity, highlighting the tight coupling between physiology and ecosystem conditions. Through the lens of ecosystem science, the net-winged beetle exemplifies how even modest organisms can exert outsized influence. Its role as a fungivore, prey, and chemical signaler creates a network of interactions that ripple through forest strata. Human impacts, both direct and indirect, intersect with these natural dynamics, underscoring the importance of forest management practices that consider the delicate interdependence of species. By maintaining suitable habitats, minimizing chemical disruption, and monitoring population health, humans can ensure that the beetle continues to fulfill its subtle but essential ecological functions. The beetle's presence is a reminder that balance in nature is both fragile and dynamic. Every foraging event, chemical signal, and breeding cycle contributes to an ongoing dialogue between organism and environment. In forests where net-winged beetles thrive, complex webs of life persist, interactions unfold predictably, and ecological stability endures. Where they falter, subtle imbalances emerge, often unnoticed until cascading effects manifest. Observing and protecting these beetles thus becomes a lens for understanding and maintaining the larger integrity of forest ecosystems. As spring rains rejuvenate the forest floor, the net-winged beetle enters its most critical phase, reproduction. Adults emerge from their refuges, guided by subtle environmental cues, humidity, temperature, and photoperiod. Mating is largely nocturnal, reducing predation risk while exploiting periods of reduced activity in predators. Males employ pheromones to locate females, often following chemical trails along leaves, bark, and mossy surfaces. Unlike many insects, courtship is quiet and precise, reflecting evolutionary investment in energy efficiency rather than elaborate display. Females lay their eggs in concealed, moisture-rich microhabitats, under decomposing leaves, within decayed logs, or among thick moss. These sites are selected to maximize larval survival, offering protection from desiccation, predation, and temperature fluctuations. Eggs are small, adhesive, and pale in color, blending seamlessly into the forest substrate. Hatching occurs over days to weeks depending on ambient conditions, and larvae immediately begin feeding on fungi, decaying plant matter, and occasionally microinvertebrates. Their survival hinges on camouflage, chemical defenses, and access to abundant food resources. Larvae grow slowly, undergoing multiple instars, each stage refining mobility, sensory perception, and chemical production. Early stages are particularly vulnerable. Their small size and limited chemical output make them easy targets for ants, small spiders, and amphibians. As they mature, larvae develop more potent toxins and stronger body structures, allowing them to move confidently through leaf litter and moss layers. The transition to adulthood is marked by metamorphosis, during which the soft-bodied, cryptic larva transforms into a vividly colored adult with hardened elytra and fully functional wings. Metamorphosis is not only a physical transformation but a shift in ecological role. Adult beetles ascend into higher strata of the forest, foraging on leaves, flowers, and fungal fruiting bodies, contributing to nutrient redistribution and pollination. The interplay between larvae and adults ensures that the species impacts multiple ecological layers simultaneously, from soil fungi to canopy flora. Scientific study of the net-winged beetle provides insights into aposematism, chemical ecology, and forest ecosystem dynamics. Researchers have documented the efficacy of its coloration and chemical defenses, noting the beetle's ability to teach predators avoidance behaviors. Long-term monitoring of populations reveals correlations between beetle abundance and forest health, highlighting its role as an ecological indicator. Studies of larval development and reproductive success contribute to understanding how microclimatic factors shape insect life cycles and survival strategies. In conclusion, the net-winged beetle exemplifies the delicate equilibrium between survival, signaling, and ecological contribution. It is neither dominant in size nor aggressive in attack, yet it commands a unique presence within the forest through chemical sophistication, precise behavior, and integration into multiple ecological networks. From the vibrancy of its wings to the subtlety of its nocturnal movements, the beetle embodies the intricate interplay of evolution, adaptation, and environmental stewardship. Its continued survival offers both a lens and a warning. The health of the forest depends on the preservation of even the smallest, most unassuming inhabitants.